Hello, I'm Michael Schrader. Today I'm going to talk to you about a concept called the quasi-couplet or the unbalanced flow couplet. And what this concept is the idea of taking two parallel um, roads and making them function like a one-way couplet. And so what you do is you have unbalanced lanes. So, for example, I have two routes, one that run east and west. So I'll make one function as the westbound couplet by having more westbound lanes than eastbound lanes, and then I'll have the parallel facility function as the eastbound route by having more eastbound than westbound. The genesis of this whole concept really goes back to the 1960s, to Redwood City, California, where they first started it. It hasn't been used very much. Oregon has used it a little bit. I first came in contact with the idea in Springfield, Missouri, with the Jefferson and Campbell couplet that run from downtown south, with one having two lanes in and one lane out, and the other one being just the opposite. When I became traffic engineer in Springfield, Illinois in 1990, I had an issue with two parallel east-west routes, Washington and Monroe. And we were having severe congestion. They had looked at widening both roads out to 4 lanes, but that would have been extraordinarily expensive and would have completely destroyed the neighborhoods that they ran through. So using transportation modeling programs, especially TranPlan, we looked at different concepts. And we compared them to the default, which was as it was right now, which is the do nothing. And the two concepts that we really looked at hard were making it a one-way couplet and a quasi-couplet, with Monroe running 2 lanes east, 1 lane west, and Washington running 1 lane west. 1 lane east and 2 lanes west, servicing the western area. So this was the whole concept, and eventually we did find out, after running 16 different analyses with various configurations and patterns, that the quasi-couplet would serve us the best. And this quasi-couplet is still in place in Springfield. So if you go up, or at least it was as of 2 years ago. So, and as far as I know, it's still there, functioning. It's been functioning. It's worked well. So the whole concept is, maybe this is an idea that needs to be implemented elsewhere. And we didn't have to make any changes to the pavement. In fact, it would allow a simplification of the signals, because you could go down to 2-phase signals instead of multi-phase signals. So there's a lot of advantages to the quasi-couplet. Other issues we found with the one-way couplet was increases in traffic on the north-south streets, as traffic had to connect from one half of the couplet to the other. And given the residential neighborhood, this was not an acceptable option to the people who live there, to have this extra traffic. So this way you still maintain all your access, you don't have that problem, and you get the benefits of a couplet. So it's kind of a win-win thing. You get the benefits of both a two-way street and a one-way couplet all combined together. So I'm going to show you some simulations. What I did is I took existing data and put a 40% growth factor, and then use that for the status quo condition, the one-way couplet, and the quasi-couplet. And I'll show you some of the differences.